Hello everybody, welcome back. This is gonna be a super quick video because I want this video to get out as soon as possible because two things today happened. One really good, happy, positive thing, one really kind of shocking, upsetting thing. I mean, if you're an Arsenal fan right now, are you, beyond worried or are you not worried? That's kind of the question of this video. As you see in the title, a huge non-win against Everton. They drew at Emirates. And a lot of people are talking about this and a lot of people are not happy and a lot of people are, the beginning of October and they're worried. And that's kind of the point of this video. When I saw by the time I had woken up this morning and I saw that Arsenal drew against Everton, I was surprised and I was pretty shocked. And then I'm like, what are Arsenal fans thinking right now? I'm gonna have Sarah read this headline and then we're gonna kind of talk about it.
Everton hold Arsenal to shock 0-0 draw. Man City go to top of WSL. Arsenal's Women's Super League title chances suffered a serious blow on Sunday as they were held to a 0-0 home draw by lowly Everton, who picked up their first point of the season and their first away to the Gunners since 2009, with Everton having opened their campaign with a 4-0 defeat by Brighton and a 1-0 loss to Manchester United. Not even the most diehard Toffees fans would have expected them to get anything from their trip to London. Arsenal dominated with almost 70% possession and had a handful of decent efforts on target, but a combination of grit and good luck saw Everton grab a most unlikely point that could have big implications in the 22-game title race. With Chelsea's game against Manchester United postponed due to the Blues Champions League game on Tuesday, Manchester City made the most of Arsenal's slip-up by visiting West Ham 2-0 to go top on 7 points after 3 games.
So yeah, even like it's right there. Even the most diehard Everton fans were not expecting to walk away from the Emirates with a point because they got a draw. And a lot of, I don't want to say finger pointing, but we're going to read the comments in a second. A lot of people are saying all this hard work, all these amazing players, what is Jonas doing to these brilliant players? And the opposite I saw some discourse online also talking about, hey, Jonas might be not the greatest coach, but the players aren't looking great either. Because I'm even looking at the player ratings from goal.com. Realistically, no one even had a great game. Emily Fox a 7 out of 10, Lotte Wubben-Moy 7 out of 10, Cordina a 7 out of 10, McCabe a 7 out of 10, Kim Little a 5 out of 10, Beth Mead a 6 out of 10, Russo a 5 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Obviously there's more to these ratings, but no one had a good game for Arsenal. And we got a little pushback last time when they had a 1-0 victory over Leicester. And I kind of had made a comment saying, hey, a team like Leicester, you probably should be winning a little more convincingly with this group. And a couple comments said, you're undermining Leicester. They're a great club, and I agree. There's no easy win realistically anymore. But then you go against a club like Everton, who has done so poorly at the Emirates and for so long. Just the week after barely beating Leicester, you should be beating a club like Everton. Like, you really should. And I might get the same pushback, but
Yeah, everybody's a bit worried about this. But in positive note, I really like the name Toffees.
Yeah, that is so cute. Isn't that the Toffees? I had never heard that.
English Toffees. No.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to read some comments that I saw on Instagram and on Twitter.
So one person says, terrible performance, dull, lethargic, uninspiring. We only started really pushing for the win in the final 10 minutes. 90 minutes of my life I won't get back again. Seriously, how much longer can he last?
The last 10 minutes, I like to call that a little bit of panic soccer. There was actually 1 or 2 really close calls at the very end, but the Everton goalkeeper saved a couple balls, but it was pretty panicky. Everton kind of had, as I say, they parked the bus a bit, but it worked. And a lot of, like that guy, like this commenter said, how long will he last? Speaking about Jonas.
I like this comment that says, get Casey Stoney on the phone. I'd like to see that.
The Arsenal ownership seems to have a lot of faith still in Jonas Edeval. And then someone goes, thanks for the memories, Jonas. It's time you make your own without us. People go disappointing.
And this person says, painful, and pains me to say it, but playing at the Emirates is not helping, and performance seems to be getting worse and worse. Hashtag Jonas out. That was a different comment. Can't believe we just dropped points to Everton. And someone else says, how much more proof do you need that Jonas and Arsenal aren't working?
Yeah, and that's a good point. Someone might say, the women are the ones playing. Jonas is just not bringing the best out of the players, and that's what you need a manager to do. Maybe it's not the right fit. I mean, it's been a few years now, and no one really feels like very comfortable that going out there with Jonas, they're going to get a win. Jonas out. Jonas out before we lose another season with the best roster. Yeah, that's what people are saying. Such good players. Jonas just doing Jonas things. I've seen that comment. So my question is, are Arsenal fans really worried that, I saw someone in the comment section also saying dropping points to Everton is going to cost dearly down the road? Because you can look at this two ways. It's early in the season. You can make up those games. But then you kind of look at the opposite, saying with teams like Chelsea, Man United, Man City, you can't drop games like you can. You can't drop points to teams like Everton if you really want to win at the end of the season. Like, that's just not a possibility unless the other teams are dropping points, which so far they really haven't to not quality teams. You know what I mean? And you also can't count on Chelsea or Man City to drop points to teams like Everton.
And it's just setting a precedent for the season.
Well, and there's a problem too. Champions League plays again on Wednesday of this week. So they're going to play Bayern Munich on Wednesday. There is a little bit of controversy because Chelsea Man City's game for the WSL was postponed because Chelsea's game for Champions League is going to be on Tuesday. So the turnaround would have been very tight. Their game was postponed, but Arsenal's game is still happening against Bayern Munich on Wednesday. Not just that. Arsenal play Bayern Munich on Wednesday. Then, in the WSL season, they play Chelsea next Saturday. So that turnaround is crazy for Arsenal. Jonas had a couple comments saying, this is unacceptable and it's amateurish behavior from the WSL to put the schedules like that. And they knew about the matches that were going to be that tight. And Chelsea's match got rescheduled because they thought it was too tight. So it's just like a shit show. It really is.
Whoa. It's serious when she swears.
So I feel bad for Arsenal at this point. Then again, statistically speaking, you might say, well, Arsenal didn't win. So having a draw and a loss the next couple games statistically isn't as possible, if that makes sense. I don't know, but it's going to be a tough week for Arsenal and Arsenal fans. But a lot of people made it clear in the comments they were more upset with Jonas than anything, even the players. Did the players have a great game? Not really, but I would say the majority of people just said Jonas is showing not the leadership that, he does not have the leadership that Arsenal needs right now. So what does everyone think? So my big takeaway from this part of the video is, are you an Arsenal fan who is just worried? Is almost kind of saying, is this season, if you get anything from the season, it's going to be a positive. You're not even, I don't know. What does everyone think? But we're going to change the topic from really bad, really mid news, really bad news, mid news, to really exciting news. And that is that tonight, we just got done watching it. I'll have Sarah read the headline.
Unbeaten Orlando Pride clinch first NWSL Shield. And the crowd goes wild. The Orlando Pride clinched their first National Women's Soccer League Shield at home on Sunday with a 2-0 win over the second-place Washington Spirit at Inter & Co. Stadium. Pride playmaker and captain Marta scored from the penalty spot in the 56th minute before Orlando midfielder Adriana saw her shot deflected for a Spirit own goal in the 73rd minute. The Pride remain unbeaten through 23 games. Wow. No team has ever finished an NWSL season unbeaten. The Shield is the first trophy of any kind for the Pride. Iconic. This is historical. Especially for Marta and everything.
We are pumped. Marta was interviewed when they were presented with the shield after the game, and Marta was emotional. Actually, there's an adorable meme of her getting the Anna Moorhouse put a necklace on her. It's like the I don't even know what it has a name.
The pride chain.
Yeah, and she puts it on Marta, and Marta looks around like, oh my goodness, what's going on? It was, but Marta was emotional and exciting game. Sarah and I were talking. We're big Gotham fans. That's our team. If Gotham wasn't going to win the Shield, we still want them to win the championship. But if Gotham wasn't going to win the Shield, which they weren't going to, talking about points or whatnot, we were rooting for Orlando Pride. That's who we were really rooting for.
Yeah, and they're undefeated, so iconic, amazing.
Yeah, historic season. I remember when the Pride were like last in the standings, didn't win many games. And again, that's what's great about the NWSL. I think every year it's just so different. This year, last year Seattle Reign was in the championship, and then this year they're not playing very well. I don't even think they're going to make the playoffs. And then a team like San Diego won the Shield last year. And this year, again, I don't know if they're this year really struggling overall. So happy for Orlando. It was a rainy night. That rain was kind of crazy. Marta scored the PK.
And it was beautiful.
It was beautiful, yeah. And Kingsbury got a glove on it, but that kick was far too powerful. That Marta kick was far too powerful. So happy for them. Sorry, farted. So the Shield is the best record of the season. But after the playoffs, then they'll go to the championship. And that's obviously tournament style for the NWSL champion, which obviously Sarah and I are rooting for Gotham. But it is interesting. I would say the Shield is harder to win than the championship. I think it is, right? I mean, throughout the season, you have to be the best throughout the season. Tournament style for the NWSL championship is like you have to be good on pressure, though, for that. So, I don't know. I think it's harder to win the Shield, personally.
They're both hard.
Yeah, they're both hard. But the glory really comes with the championship. It doesn't come with the Shield. It comes with the champion. That's when all the glory comes, which I think the Shield is harder to win. But tournament style, really, the pressure is on you. It's must win. And those are sometimes the champions when you say you have to win and, when you do like the tournament style. But what does everyone think? Just two opposite ends of the spectrum for the stories. Arsenal, I saw this really funny meme. It said, me watching the Arsenal draw against Everton. It was a person crying. I'll put it on the screen. So what happened? What's happening? Are you guys worried? Are Arsenal fans worried? I wasn't even planning on making this video, but the beginning of the season, it's just the WSL. If you don't beat these teams that really should be beaten, it's hard to make up those games because you have to rely on other people not to beat them as well. So what does everyone think? Questions, comments down below. Question A, are you worried about Arsenal? If you are an Arsenal fan, is it Jonas? Does Jonas have to go? But on the opposite end of that, so pumped for Orlando Pride from being like pretty much the worst team in the league a few years ago to the Shield, unbeaten. I mean, anytime Barbara Banda has the ball, I go, oh, it's a goal. That's it. It's a goal.
And question B was going to be, was this actually a short video?
It was. Sarah's being sassy.
It's 10 p.m. That's when the sass comes out.
Yeah, so pumped for Orlando. If Gotham does not win the championship, I want Orlando Pride to win. I am on record saying that.
They're going to do something dramatic.
No, nothing, no dramatics, but that's my second team. So the final would be, depending on how the brackets will go. See, I don't know exactly if Orlando and Gotham would be on the same bracket. So they would either meet each other at the semis or the finals if they're the team. But those are my two teams. So pumped for Orlando. They did things no one's ever done before. And so happy for Marta. Crazy cool year for her.
Yeah, I'd say she's having a pretty good year.
So questions, comments down below. What does everyone think? Yep. Those are the two stories. Good luck, Champions League for Arsenal on Wednesday. It's going to be tough to beat Bayern Munich. I think it's going to be really tough, but we will see what happens. I am rooting for them. Sarah is rooting for them. Mm-hmm. And actually, I will say this. Apparently, the commentary on the live video on Barclays YouTube, They had people live reacting as the game was going on. Apparently the comments were hilarious. I did not see them. I just saw this on TikTok, but the live react was turned off when I went to go see if I could see them. I wish I could have seen them, because apparently that was more entertaining than the game. And the weird camera angle of the Arsenal was like a one-shot camera angle, and it was choppy. So just kind of a mess. But we will see what happens on Friday, then next Saturday. It's going to be a crazy week. Questions, comments down below. We will talk to everyone later. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.